Hi everyone, welcome to Advice to Think Twice, and welcome to your next 7 days reading. Hope you're doing well. So let's see what's going on for you in the next 7 days. Whenever you come across this message, I will say Monday to Sunday, but it's next 7 days for you, okay? Give or take a couple of days. And things could be playing out day by day as we're seeing them in the reading, but it could also be that you look at this as, okay, this is a series of events that may happen at some point within the next 7 to 10 days. All right, we have the Five of Wands and the King of Cups, the Six of Wands. So I feel like some sort of, you're having to defend your title for some of you. Six of Pentacles. For those of you, I also see a situation where you have to claim your rights or enforce your rights. Okay. Or claim something that you're entitled to, birthright, or any other kind of legal right. Alright. So let's see what's going on for my subscribers in the next 7 days. Keep an open mind. And make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you if you have. Alright. And if you have a lot of Pisces in your chart, check out my second channel, Pisces Tarot and Advice. Check it out anyway. We all have all the zodiac signs in our chart, one way or another. So you may find those readings resonate for you as well. All right, let's see. And for those of you visiting from over there, hi. Hope you like it here. Hope you find useful messages here as well. All right. Okay. So let's see what's going on in the next 7 days for my subscribers. Bottom of the deck, overall energy. We have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles talks about collaboration, cooperation, memberships, teams, associations, your neighborhood watch. Okay. Can also talk about growth and expansion when it comes to how you make your money. It could be some sort of performance you give, display. It could be something like an interview, right? Where you present yourself, you sell yourself. But it could also be setting up a business, setting up a website, showing people what you're doing, what you're selling, promoting yourself, okay, with this energy as well. And there could also be an increase to your finances, whether it's in the form of a raise, of a promotion, or a new job that's going to be now, stabilizing your finances, however that resonates. You could be joining a new team, a new club, a new membership, a new agency or association at this time as well. So, Monday, or the first day that we're looking at here, we have the Ten of Wands and the Hermit. So on Monday, I feel like you're carrying a heavy burden. It could be you've got a lot on your plate. You've got a lot to do, a lot of work to do. With the Hermit, this is solitary work. Okay, so if you're dealing with a lot, this could be, good advice for you to share. Share the burden, share the load, ask for help, accept help. Tell people you're struggling. Tell people you're doing too much. Tell people you need a break. Tell people you need help, okay? With this energy as well. I also see some sort of test or trial. Someone could be giving you an opportunity to prove yourself. If you applied for something, this could be the interview, or they could give you some sort of practical tasks to do. Again, an opportunity for you to prove yourself, to prove your skills, to prove your knowledge. Could be some sort of audition. Okay, that kind of energy is what I'm seeing here. A Virgo could be helping you carry things, helping you find solutions, improve things. You could be talking to an advisor. Now, that could be a therapist, but it could also be a financial advisor, a career advisor, about, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. What are my options? What options do I have for help? What options do I have for support? Again, what am I entitled to in terms of receiving support? Whether that's, custody related, spousal support related, support from the government, unemployment, any benefits like that, right? I feel like you're entertaining that, and discussing that with an advisor on Monday here as well. On Tuesday, we have the Nine of Swords and the Fool. So on Tuesday, I feel like you're biting the bullet with something. This is feel the fear and do it anyway. Um, there's some sort of fresh start. There's a different kind of action you can take. There's a shift in course. So if you're applying for jobs in that, this is where you're applying for some kind of job that you've never done before. You don't have a lot of experience in. You don't have the knowledge necessarily, but there is an opportunity for you to just go for it with the Fool. I don't know if it's this, what this Hermit is putting you up for or guiding you towards, right? Or telling you about, hey, there's this going on. And the Nine of Swords is just that stress, that anxiety, that self criticism or worry, or how am I going to do this? I have no like certificates for this. I have no qualifications. I have no, you know. But on Tuesday, it's a really important day for you to feel the fear and do it anyway. To just go for it. What have you got to lose at this point, right? So you're initiating something that is very different to what you studied, what your knowledge basis is, what your experience is, what your skills are. If you've been kind of trying to find a job in what you studied, right? To use your degree, to use your education, to use your previous qualifications, right? And maybe that's not been working out for you. This is where, again, you're sitting down with someone, could even be a career advisor, and they're going, well, you're perfectly suited for this type of work. Why don't you give that a go? And you're going, I have no education in that. I have no training in that, right? But it's the kind of thing that I feel with the Fool. You just have to be willing to go and learn, because there will be training, there will be guidance, there will be support for you one way or another, right? But it's just because it's so different. That's what gives you pause and anxiety. But at the same time, I do feel like you're at the end of your rope with something where, something's got to give, something's got to change. So what's the harm in trying this other thing, this unorthodox way, this non-traditional way of doing things, right? Whatever that looks like for you. So I feel like a very hesitant action being taken here, but you are taking the action, or that's what's in front of you, right? That's the guidance. Because there is something that this Hermit is talking to you about. There is something that this hermit is offering to you. Even if it's like, try this or consider this. And if you wanted to pursue this, this is your next steps, right? But there is something where it's up to you. You have to say yes, or you have to go with it, or you have to initiate something that, again, you're telling yourself you're not good for, or you're not, good at, or you have to overcome that stinking thinking, okay, with the Nine of Swords there. So let's see. There's also a situation here where with the Nine of Swords, we get stuck in our heads and everything becomes much bigger than it is, and worse than it is, or stuff like that. And we get stuck in that mental loop to where if I do this, that's going to happen. If I do that, that's going to happen, and so on and so forth, until you get yourself to that point of, I got no options. I got no options. There's nothing I can do based on the scenarios you're telling yourself, right? But that's all in your head. And the way to break that mental loop is action. Any action, trust me, any action is good, is going to work out for you, because it will be new input. It will be new information. It will get you unstuck. It will get you free from that mental prison, back out into the real world, right? And if you try something and it works out, great. If you try something and it doesn't work out, you have that new input. You have that new information. And maybe you made some contacts as you were trying that, or, things are different. There's different in its reality, right? Versus things you're imagining. On Wednesday, here's that Five of Wands again with the Hierophant. So on Wednesday, again, there could be some sort of interview, test, competition, application process, bid process, an opportunity to prove yourself, going head to head with someone. With the Hierophant here, that could be a judge, that could be a referee, an interviewer. If you're applying for something, maybe you've never applied for unemployment and now you're going for it because, like, well, I got nothing to lose. I got no other choices right now. This is where, again, you're going through with that application for that government service or government worker or whatever it is with the Hierophant. Okay? And for others, like I say, it's some sort of interview, but there's a prove yourself component to this. So I don't know if they're giving you a task. It could be something where it's less based on experience, qualifications, your education, and more task specific, or show us what you can do, don't tell us what you can do type of situation. So it's like a practical interview, if that makes sense, right? Where it's like putting you in different scenarios and just kind of someone observing you to see what you do. It could be that kind of situation, okay? Um, and for others, this could be just regular tests and exams. There could be a bit of a tense moment or a bit of a argument or someone challenging you. We have Taurus energy here. Okay, so you may have to put someone in their place. I also feel like there could be some sort of family pressure for some of you. For you to do something, for you not to do something. The Fool with the Hierophant, they do show up together oftentimes because it's that clash between the traditional and the unconventional. So I do feel like as you're starting this new path, maybe it's best to keep it to yourself, at least until you can make up your own mind about it, because I feel like if you talk about it just as you're getting started, when you're already feeling unsure about it, I do feel like you're going to be met with you shouldn't do that. You should do the traditional thing. That's not going to work. That's silly. That's this. That's that. Do what you've always done, or what'd you go to school for then, or you know what I'm saying. If this is about a decision you're making to leave a relationship, to leave a marriage, to leave a job, right? Whatever the case may be. Again, I feel like just keep it to yourself, okay? With the Hierophant there as well, and the Nine of Swords, keep it to yourself. I do feel like if you've been doing that, you may start to feel guilty about it. It's really important that you protect whatever it is you're trying to start, especially at times when you're not feeling that confident about it. Test it for yourself, trial it for yourself, make up your own mind about it before you tell people about it, okay? Because I do see a clash here and someone telling you you're being silly, you're being crazy, this isn't what you do, this isn't how you do things, right? If you're deciding to walk away from a cushy 9 to 5 office job to be an influencer or a social media presence, for example, right? That's the unconventional route. Your family over here, who only know traditional jobs, they're going to have opinions, They're going to question you. They're going to push you to, no, go get your job back. What are you doing? You're insane, right? That kind of situation. So it's best to keep it to yourself, make moves in silence, figure it out for yourself, see how you feel about it for yourself before you talk about it, because I do see that clash. On Thursday, we have Strength and the Magician. So if there's some sort of contest or audition, or you being given an opportunity to prove yourself, there could be, this is where you're getting called for the second stage, or you're getting a call back with this energy. So next level, you're going to the next level of testing, next level of checks, or this is where they're now starting to look into your background. This is where they're doing background checks on you, financial checks, or to see if you have a police record or references, chasing them down, that sort of thing, okay? For others of you, if this is like a group dynamic, this is where you're having a one-to-one. This is that next level. This is the next stage, right? You're going from the group to one-to-one interview and conversation, okay? You're a very strong candidate for this, whether you're aware of this or not, okay? So it's really important to walk in there with confidence. And if you have to fake it till you make it, do that, because they're looking at you as you're a very strong candidate for this, okay? But confidence is key this week, especially, okay, as you're trying to create this new thing, to pursue this new path. For those of you, a Leo wants to talk to you, they want to see you, they want to talk to you face to face. Someone's going to tell you, I want to see you in person, I want to tell you in person. Someone wants to talk to you about a change they're making or a change you're making. And again, you may have to, if this is where, a job is confirmed for you, you're getting an offer, you're getting, something concrete, and you tell people, this is where you may now have to, if you wanted to, you don't have to, kind of explain it or defend it to some people, right? Take them through it. Like, this is what I'm going to be doing. It's all official. It's all confirmed. I start next week. But with the strength card, you're coming at it from a much more confident place now because you have that something solid. You have that offer. You have that confirmation. You have that contract, right? For those of you, you're putting things in place. You're creating schedules maybe to make room for this new opportunity or this new job you're starting or this new program you're starting. For some of you, this is about you want to go back to school or you want to go to school to study something else. You want to take a class, take a course, okay? And this is like, okay, you've tested it, you've trialed it out, you've had that opportunity, and now you're deciding, okay, I want to pursue this. This is where you're sitting down. What's my schedule going to look like? What do I need to do with this? What do I need to do for childcare? What do I need to do for that, right? Maybe that's what you've been talking to the advisor over here as well. I'm a single parent and I want to pursue my education. Is there any support I can benefit from, right? From the government or from any sort of organization, right? For those of you, it's your family. Maybe that's why it makes it a little bit trickier for you to not tell them what you're trying to do, right? Because they wouldn't support it, but at the same time, you're asking them to help you. So it's one of them. But yes, you do have that confirmation. You do have that, official go ahead, green light with this energy as well. And you're now making plans. You're making room for this, right? It's really cool. You could also be starting a new schedule in terms of workout, in terms of diet. For some of you, you're going back to the gym, or maybe you're starting to. Or this is, like I say, some sort of unconventional way of working out, unconventional way of keeping fit. Maybe you're going from just going to the gym by yourself to, you know what, I'm not getting any results. Let me try to work with a professional. Let me try to get a trainer and see what that does for me, right? And then it's a case of, let me figure out how I'm going to afford it. But you're seeing results right away, or this person is telling you things right away that makes you think, you know what, I think this was the right decision to go with them. So if it's not personal trainer, it could be nutritionist, it could be a doctor of some sort, a professional, however that resonates, okay? Friday, here we go. Nice. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Pentacles. This is a change in your fortune for the better. This is that contract coming in, or this is a payout coming in for you. This is the results. You're getting results for the changes you're making right away. This is getting booked right away, getting work right away. And it's the beginning of your new line of work, your new way of making money, right? This is also, if you've been testing and trialing something, if it's a product, if it's a service, if it's a whatever, right? This is where you're saying, yeah, I want to commit to this. I'm putting money down. I'm going with a full subscription. I'm going to be doing this for the next year, right? And I'm paying for it. I'm putting the money down. I really feel like that's a good decision, okay? With the Wheel of Fortune, it is going to change your fortune. And if you've been struggling, changing your fortune is a good thing, isn't it? Yeah, and this is like grounding that change. Whatever change you're making here, it's grounding the change in your reality. So again, changing your schedule. You have money that you're putting down, or you have money that's coming to you. You're now getting hired for things. You're getting booked for things. You're getting clients. You're getting contracts. You're getting sent out to do jobs, right? If this is where I do see like a change in the type of employment that you go for. So you could now become self-employed and collaborate with this agency, and they get you gigs, they get you contracts, they get you clients. But you have to be self-employed. It's not the traditional, you work for them, they pay you, right? You have to pay your own taxes or your own contributions, or however that resonates, right? But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And you're getting some sort of, it's grounded in reality, whether that means you're getting money, you're getting contracts, or you're getting paid, you're getting sent out for work, or you are putting money down. You are fully committing to this, right? Saturday, we have Justice and the Page of Swords. And this is some sort of event, development, or contract, or official communication, documentation, okay? And it's official, okay? Official confirmation, signing on the dotted line, committing to something, definitely looking at paperwork here, okay? Or changing your status, or changing your job title, or Making it, letting other people know this is what I do now with this energy as well. Okay? Or you're officially a member of, you're officially registered with, you're officially this, right? With this energy here as well. There's also confirmation messages, information coming to you that serves as confirmation you made the right decision. Okay? For those of you, there could be a message from either a child, a younger person, a Libra, or Gemini, or Aquarius, that gets you thinking. Whether they don't know how you feel about what they're saying, or they're presenting you with some sort of offer, or they're presenting you with some sort of choice, it's something you're going to have to consider. It's something you're going to have to think about. For others of you, I feel like someone might be saying something to you that's not quite fair. So you're sitting and thinking, should I even say something about this? Should I do something about this? Or should I just let it go? What's the right thing to do in this situation? For those of you, this is a time of study, learning, training, what the rules are, what the law says, what the process is with this new thing that you're doing. Okay, you're preparing yourself, you're gaining that knowledge, you're gaining that understanding, you're learning, you're studying, you're researching. Okay, very informative. Yeah, but a day focused on learning, educating yourself. And then Sunday here we have the King of Cups and the King of Swords. Ooh, lots of kings in your reading. Okay, so male figures could be important for you in the week ahead, whether they're the people helping you, or the people that you have to kind of stand up against. Okay, push. A lot of kings in your reading could also be telling you that this is a time for you to step into king energy, into making things happen, into you taking action, you initiating things, you pursuing things, you standing up for yourself, taking matters into your own hands, right? Not relying on other people, you making the decisions, you taking the actions. It can be an energy where you have to defend something, you have to protect something, you have to stand up for yourself, right? Deciding when to entertain other people's opinions and when to put them in their place, okay? That kind of energy. It's very mature energy here, and it's not linked to age. But if you've been unsure, okay, Nine of Swords, because you're overworked, you're overburdened, you can't see the forest for the trees, you can't see your way out of a situation, you don't know what to do, right? This is like, first step to do is to talk to an expert, to talk to a professional, to get your options, to get, information about what your rights are, what your expectations should be, what you deserve to get, what you're entitled to. If it's options, if it's support, if it's, how do I do this? You could be talking to this person. It could be something that you look up online. It could be something you start to follow, a guide, a mentor, a teacher, an advisor, someone who's been doing this, right? Whatever it is you're trying to do and doing well for themselves. And you have this energy here of kind of breaking away either from the traditional, what you've been doing, what other people are doing, what other people think you should be doing, comparing yourself to other people. Breaking away from that's the huge transformation here. And walking your own path, creating your own path, even if you don't know what that is, it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to figure it out as I go. And then gaining more confidence. The more you go, the more you learn, the more you try different things, okay? And I also feel like there's going to be a change. If people usually pressure you, if people usually push you and it's like, you shouldn't do that, you really shouldn't do that, and you would usually let people get inside your head and walk back from something, come back from something, give up on something, and just go back to the known and the traditional, right? This time, the big change that's going to happen is you're going to tell yourself, you know what? A, I'm not even going to tell people what I'm doing because I know what's going to happen, and I'm not going to let them make me question myself. B, if that does happen and they start pushing and questioning yourself, what's going to be different this time is that it's going to give you strength. It's going to give you courage. It's going to make you realize, no, this is something that I want. This is something that I'm going to fight for, regardless of what you say. So it's going to be the impetus for you to go, no, actually, I'm more determined to do this now. And that is the change. Okay, that could have been what's been holding you back. Trying to do what other people are doing, trying to do what other people think you should be doing, trying to just follow in the footpaths of someone else, trying to do something the traditional way, the conventional way, how it's always been done. This is the process for things. This is how you do things. You go to school for this and then you get a job in it, right? And that's fine. But there comes a time when, you know what, if you feel like making a change, you can make a change. That's not a sentence, right? You have to do that because you paid to go to school for it, right? For example. Same with relationships. If you change your mind, if something is no longer what you want, you can walk away. But maybe it's something where your family looks down upon divorce, or you leaving relationships, or especially if there's children involved, right? Like, oh, you don't do that. You stay together for the kids because that's their belief. That's their. And to you, it doesn't apply. Maybe it works for some people. I don't know. You make your own judgments. But for you, you're like, no, that doesn't apply. This doesn't make sense to me. If my kids see me miserable every single day, that's what they're gonna learn. That kind of relationship is okay. That's how parents are supposed to be. You know. Whereas if they see me happy and thriving, even if I'm not next to their mother or father, but then me being happy and thriving, maybe we get along better as friends than partners. I don't know. That's what they're gonna learn, right? And they're not gonna worry about me, and they're not gonna feel uncomfortable in the tension in the house, right? Or whatever it is. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just giving you examples. Because maybe it is vice versa. Maybe people are telling you you should quit something, you should walk away from something. And you're like, no, I'm going to see this through. I believe in this. I'm going to see this through. And they're going, well, I would have left a long time ago. This thing, this job, this person, this situation, this place. And they're like, no, I'm going to fight for it. You can leave if you want to. Don't tell me I should, Don't tell me how to live my life just because that's your choice. That's the change. That's the transformation. You're going within and you're now focused on you, what you want to try, what you want to believe, because the conventional way isn't working for you. What everyone else is doing or telling you to do isn't working for you. That's why you're so burdened, okay? So talk to someone. How would I make change in my life? What are my options in terms of support? Okay, in terms of clubs or memberships I can try, in terms of how I can make money, right? Because the traditional way isn't working. How would I make that change? How do people make career changes? Um, how do people leave this kind of situation? How do people get into that kind of industry, or that sort of thing? And I do see like interviews or contests or tests or trials, or you being given opportunities to prove your skills. I do see a situation where it's more about what you're showing that you can do versus you telling people about what you know to do. Um, and an unconventional way of doing things. And I see it leads to a contract, it leads to commitment, it leads to big change in your life that is going to be very stable. It has a lot of long-term potential. It's very stable with 3 kings here, okay? It is the right decision. It will be a change in your fortune for the better, okay? And again, it could involve self-employment, because this is you in charge, right? Self-employment, or I suppose it's still self-employment, isn't it? When you have an agent, or you could have an agent, or you could have a representative, someone who goes and kind of sets things up for you, or gets you contacts or options or opportunities, but you decide what you go with, where you go, or you could pay someone, give someone a commission, but then it's up to you. You go and do the work, and then something like that is what I'm seeing. Okay. Um, yeah, and for those of you, you're finally leaving that situation, despite what other people are going to say and think and feel. You're leaving that situation because you're not happy. So this could be filing for divorce. This could be deciding, giving someone notice of something. Because again, you're stepping into that power of, this is what I want to do. Okay? I don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care how people do this. This is how I'm going to do this. And I feel like it's a rebirth, and it's a transformation that was always meant for you. Okay? So that's why you have justice here with the Fool. That's why everything's been happening. That's why it's been so difficult and increasingly challenging and increasingly uncomfortable, because you were meant to make this change. okay? But I feel like it had to get to the point where it's like I have nothing left to lose, right? You might have fought it along the way. And kind of, I feel like it's more of fighting yourself along the way and your thinking, in terms of other people and expectations and what people are going to say. And but you're getting there now, okay? So you're making big changes, all right? So I'm looking forward to your comments. Let me know what this is about for you. I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some confidence, some reassurance, confirmation. It's time for you to do something else, something different, or do things in a different way. What everyone else is doing is not working for you, okay? And that's your confirmation. So good luck. Have a great week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.